We are live. We are live. We are live. So here we are. Ryan, good to see you, man.
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Good to have you on.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it a ton. Been looking
Yeah,
forward to
it's
this for a while.
it's Monday. Everybody's got a case of the Mondays. We got a
Yeah.
ton of boxes to open though. So
Oh man, if you see the stack here, it's pretty. It's a good stack.
I got a
Give you a
little
little.
stack back here. Yeah.
I got a little glimpse right here. Sound stoked.
Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going, man? How's your Monday treating you?
So it was good. A little bit hectic. Taking the kid to the doctor this morning unexpectedly, and then little technical errors here and there. But hey, all good. It's another day,
Yeah.
another beautiful Monday.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
How about
Lunch is
you?
done. Yeah, lunch is done. Time for a nice grain flavored glass of water.
Yeah. See, mine is just full of carbonation and energy.
So I was really digging your stream yesterday on Facebook. Who ended up winning that giveaway?
It was a buddy, Will Little. Will Little won the giveaway. He's a guy that works at one of the auctions that I like to visit. Kevin Johnson or Top End Gaming. So it was cool to see that he got a chance to win. He and I became 300 brothers recently because we both got our ASM 300 within the past month.
Oh wow. Yeah, I have yet to pick one of those up. I keep waiting and I keep doing other things, and it's like one of these days I'll get there. Hey, Superpower, what's up, man? Cameron D, Prodigal Son, Bear Island's hanging. So this has been pretty funny. You know, I kind of figured you and I were talking about going live at noon or whatever, and we'll go live when we go live. But Adam Bear Island Comics has been texting me for the last hour about how you're just trolling me, man. He's like, why
Oh,
aren't you going yet? And I'm like, you're at work. You're supposed to be working. now,
right.
now he's like, enough chit chat. I have a meeting at 1. So
Oh,
why don't you go ahead and open something up, man?
okay, so I'm gonna get to this first one right here. So this first one is something I got from a buddy of mine, Daryl Johnson. I didn't even know he had this particular book, and it's something I've been looking at. Now, as most folks know, I only collect Venom, hence the Venom shirt. Uh, uh, and so I've been looking to finish up my volume 4, and I need like 2 more books to be able to finish up volume 4. But this one wasn't one. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like see. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it because it's one of those bigger books, and I haven't spent a whole lot of money on bigger books in a while. I don't do it that often. Partly because my wife, she'd rather me not spend money on the comic books, but it's been, I get around. I get an opportunity to open them up here and there. So this one came from Daryl Johnson. It brings me that much closer. I have 2 more books to get to the end of the volume 4. And yeah, which collection are you currently doing?
I'm doing like 20 different things, but Superpower Review has a great question. Who is your guest? Yeah, I didn't really open up very well. We're just going live and hanging out. So this
Uh,
is Ryan from Rhyno's Comics on Facebook. He has a group just called Rhinos right now, and it's a community-based group that they're looking to build more connections within the community, be able to share content, do some giveaways, and hang out. Ryan's also working on starting up his YouTube channel. So this is today was hanging out with him to let him work through some of his processes and build um, his rapport with what equipment he wants to use and what stuff he wants to set up so that he can go live on YouTube whenever.
yeah, Andy was gracious enough to let me come on here. So I like to, I'm not a seller. I think I leave that to professionals, and I try to do other end of it. I think that receiving stuff and sharing that with everyone, and being able to see the books we get, where we get the books, who we use, so that we can promote the people that we like to buy our books from that are good to the community. We give back to them. So I was trying to think of a way. How can I give back to the community, or back to the sellers that I enjoy, besides just monetary? So this was my way to come up with it. So I made this channel to start doing box openings, start passing information. Obviously, I ran into you through, as your shirt says, Simple Man Comics, and that's how I came across with you. And I love that they had a lot of community stuff, so I really gravitated to them, and really just wanted to do something very similar, so I can not sell anything. I just want to be able to give back to the community and have fun, and just like you, Andy, you like to just hang out and just have a good time and just kick it.
Yeah, dude, this community is where it's at. This is probably one of the greatest communities I've ever run into in hobbying. Whether it be like beer collecting is one thing that's a great community, but this is so much more vast and on YouTube with tons and tons of content to the point where I don't even need cable TV anymore.
I know.
Spending my time hanging out with a lot of cool homies, a lot of cool people. And what I'm really excited about is we're going to run for however long you want to go live today, because there is so much of this community that I don't think that you've been exposed to yet, that we're going to work on doing that today.
Yeah.
When you get that channel, you've got the channel started. Now what we'll do is we'll get links to you so that you can find all these other people, and then we can start sharing back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so the first book that we're opening today is this one right here. This is Venom #1 by Todd McFarlane. Again, this came from Daryl Johnson. It's a remastered version of one of Todd's covers. 316, I think it's what it's after. But really good shape. I was thinking about not getting this signed. I was thinking about getting it signed, and I was thinking about, maybe I don't want to get it signed. I want to keep it raw. Because sometimes just not to mess the artwork up. And I try to collect primarily virgins, but they didn't make this one in virgins. So this is my first opening of the day. Really excited to get that book. I think he even put it in a clear backer board. Have you seen that?
Oh wow! No, I've not paid much attention to those yet. That is actually pretty slick.
Yeah, clear backer board in there. So that's from Daryl Johnson. I really truly appreciate that he put in. I've been wanting to get some clear backer boards for like some of those wraparounds. Like Venom has a wraparound that he recently did, or they recently released. I think number 19, and I'd like to get one for that one. So for sure. What you got?
Boy, I got a box. I got a bunch of different, just random stuff. So, JB at Discovery Bay Comics has a thing where every box he gets in, he just sets it off to the corner and piles them up. And then as he does shows, people just randomly call out numbers and letters and numbers, and he'll eventually pull a box and open it up just randomly. At one point, I think he had 3 different stacks that were about 15 deep each stack.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So when I was seeing that, I was like, oh man, it might be kind of cool to stack up some stuff. And I'm getting the itch to open stuff. I can't stack it up like he does.
It's hard. I can't see how he does it either. In preparation for us being able to do this show, I got a few things coming in, and I had sat on it for a while. I was like, man, just being in there for like a week. I'm like, I keep looking at him like, yeah, I can open up one maybe. I'm like, nah.
It's agonizing, man.
It is.
It really gets you.
I'm stoked to see what you're getting.
This one's kind of fun because there's a bit of a story to this. This package is from Carolina Chris 26.
Oh yeah, I like him. I like Carolina Chris.
And I bought this book from him because I needed his address. I wanted the book for my collection. I have a one other copy, but I needed his address because he AOK'd me his winnings from Kavi Comic Books NYC's.
I remember that
Loose Change Challenge. He just gave the whole winnings to me, and he AOK is act of kindness, and he did that, and I was blown away. So I was like, okay, I got to do something for him, but I wanted to be like really sneaky about it. So I back and forth after a couple of, I think I spent 2 months talking to him back and forth about this, and eventually I was just like, I found this book that he was selling this, and I'm like, dude, how much do you want? Okay, here's the money. Ship it to me. And I was like, I hope he puts his address on there. I hope he does it. And sure enough, he had his address on there. So a week or two later, I sent him a box full of comics as a thank you. And he had no idea how I got his address. But
that's awesome. That's awesome.
This is really cool. This tugs at my heartstrings. This is pure 90s. I absolutely love it. And that's Blade.
Oh, dude, I have that one. Yeah, that's awesome.
So this has been bouncing around dollar bins for a long time. I've got one other copy. But he had this thing, and it is near mint plus.
That's awesome.
I'd be shocked if this didn't come back at least a 9.6, if not a 9.8.
You sending it off?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where if that book ever, if the Blade reboot gets hot, I should say,
Yeah.
and that book ends up, regularly selling for $30, $40, $50, that's kind of usually that price point when a book is about the cost of what it takes to get it to CGC and back.
Yeah.
Is when I'll consider it if it's a super high grade.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, I have the way I got mine is kind of funny. So, when you're ordering books, whether it's eBay or whether it's auction, they're coming to the mail. And I started to kind of get to know my mailman because he was always coming by, and I just want to make sure I had a good setup with him where he was taking care of my books as they were coming through. So I talked to him, and he wanted, and I have some connections in the music scene here in the Houston area, and I got him a couple of tickets or something, and he said, you always got to tip your mailman, and so always got to treat him good. I don't know. I've actually heard people that they'll leave $5 out for me whenever they drop stuff off, but he's like, hey, I got all these books that I used to collect back in the day. I don't know if you'd be interested in them. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll take them. I love take a look at them. I didn't know he wanted to just give them to me. He showed up on a Sunday popped his trunk open. He had two like short boxes of DC and Marvel and Image and just a bunch of independents. I'm like, awesome. Now, of course, like I said, Venom's pretty much the only thing that I collect. But I was like, let me go through, and I started using key collector app, looking at different stuff, and we were all in really good shape, all bagged and board. And he had a set of those blades. He had all the keys in there. It was all the key issues that were in that series. I think it's like a 10-part series or so. So yeah, it was really cool. I was stoked on it. I was like, I got that, and it was in really good shape, just like yours is. I found some of those Max. I guess Max. There's talk of him coming out with a movie or something like that.
Oh yeah, the Max.
Yeah, the Max.
Yeah. So there's been some rumors of that.
There's some of those ones that they're in a poly bag and they have like a card in the back of them. So I had like 5 or 6 of those in there, and I found some other stuff. So it was cool to get that from the mailman for sure. He delivered.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. It's fun. I picked up a collection from a friend last year that was primarily DC stuff, which I'm really excited about because I'm not a traditional DC fan or DC. I didn't grow up reading DC, so this is a lot of stuff out of the 90s that I never read that's kind of sitting back there waiting for me to start going through. And I'm already 2 weeks behind on my current reads, so it's like
it's hard to keep up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
CFAP, what's good, man? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Break into that next one. Keep randomly unboxing.
Yeah. We're gonna go into this next one right here. So this next one is it's actually a mystery bundle. It's one of kind of like a subscription, a monthly subscription that you get from like Simple Man Comics or from one of the subscription services out there. Simple Man has an amazing one. I subscribe to theirs. Theirs I think it's like a $40 a month or so, and they always have really good stuff. And kind of like you said, they introduce you into a lot of new things that I have. I started reading some of the Hulk stuff. I've always liked Hulk, but I didn't ever bought the books, and then I got it I think in the last month, and I started reading that one. So this one is from SNI Comics. It's a comic. He primarily does everything on sells online, and he does most of his stuff is variants. So he's like a specialist in the variant area, and so that's what he does. So this is $100. He's a $50 bundle and a $100 bundle. This was was a $100 bundle. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go on Andy's show. Might as well go big. So I decided to go big on a Hunsky.
The one time I wanted to go big and get a big bundle was that Torpedo Comics mystery package. And by the time, I got the boss upstairs, I got her approval. She's like, yeah, all right, go ahead. It was
sold out. The approval.
It was sold out. Oh yeah. That Torpedo Comics thing sold out fast because the main, the grand prize was like a 1.8 or a 2.0 Amazing Fantasy 15 signed by somebody, I think.
Oh my gosh.
That's a big deal. It was like awesome. It was like $150 box. And I think they did 100 boxes.
Oh my! And
I
you
think.
sold it out pretty quickly, huh?
Oh yeah, I think they sold out in less than 2 weeks.
Wow. So this is a pretty thick stack of stuff, as you can see. So I'm gonna kind of go through here somewhat quickly to see what he has going on. House of X. Here, I'll let you see before I do. House of X. I'm not really keeping up with that series, but I think it's an exclusive. This is a Perillo cover, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what this one is. Oh, Venom, Edge of Venomverse. I'm always that's a really good series. There's a couple different covers of that number one right there. Dig that. Let's see what this is. I think that I get a double. No, I get the other one. It says this is so I guess there's two covers of that.
Oh
There's
sweet.
yeah,
Oh dude, that's killer.
yeah. I don't know. So who do you know the characters?
It's
It's the
escaping my
character.
mind at the minute.
It's the
But
same one.
yeah, Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah, but two different suits. One's green and one's red.
Oops, sorry. That's not about your box, Ryan. I think Matt is referring to the torpedo box. I didn't see any unboxing videos of that yet, so I'm not sure. They did 500 boxes.
Oh
Wow,
wow, well, that's a bummer to hear.
dude, that's a sweet 2-copy set of the Phoenix there.
For sure. Okay, so this is something I think was pretty hot. There's a certificate of authenticity, and it's deceased.
Oh,
Number
I love
one.
that cover.
It's like a sketch or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be Joker, correct?
Yes.
That's
Deceased
awesome.
Joker.
Yeah, so that's
Does
cool.
it say? Is that Jim Lee? Does it say on the bottom?
John Jiang,
Okay. Yeah. I
Comics Elite exclusive.
can't quite remember who's doing the covers on a
John
lot of those.
Jiang. Yeah. Here's another deceased one, cover A. It's the colored version.
There you go.
So there it is in color. So that's a cool already. And there it is in the black and white.
Wow.
Again, this is $100 bundle from SNI Comics.
Do you have more yet, or
Yeah. What? Books?
yeah, for that
Yeah.
from that bundle?
Yeah. I
Holy
got more to go. So
Holy crap.
Silver Surfer Black, Ryan Brown cover.
Oh my god, I love that run.
Yeah, my favorite one of the last year totally was like the I thought that was a series of the year for me. I love that Silver Surfer Black from 2019. This one just has a movie that just came out. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
So
So
that movie that just came out, I've talked to some people and the response was, yeah, it was a movie.
I've heard mixed reviews. I listen to a lot of the stuff online. There's a guy, Warstu, that does a lot of content from movies and stuff like that, and he had multiple things to say about it. It was good, wasn't great, but yeah, it was a good movie. So it looks like this guy, not only did he send the trade dress, but he sent the versions of this as well.
Oh man,
check that out.
I don't know what the pricing is on some of these variants, but I feel like you're definitely getting your value in that box.
Oh yeah, this guy, he deals in a lot of variants, so he's usually got a pretty sick box. It's awesome. I mean,
let's say those are $20 a piece right there. There's almost half your value right there in those 2 books.
Oh yeah, and I got 2 more to go. This one I've already gotten privy to, but I love this cover.
Ooh,
that Star.
Captain Marvel, yeah, isn't dark the dark version of Captain Marvel Star or something like that?
Yeah, it's Captain Marvel. This is 300 of 600. Unknown comic certificate authenticity. I can't ever see that last word, but authenticity or whatever. But yeah,
authenticity, yeah.
Yeah, I love Virgin covers. That's my favorite. Is the Virgin.
And
covers.
What issue was that again? Was that number 8?
It is number 12.
Number 12. Okay. I think there's some spec value in there if you're interested in that that series with that character.
Yeah, number 8 is really I have number 8, the Virgin cover. That's with Captain Marvel. She's all carnageized or whatever. All right, and the last one is Venom, Tyler Kirkham. That's a really awesome cover too.
Dang, I'm excited for Venom 2 coming up.
Oh, me too. I've been hearing some good spec. I got some some spec news from that too.
Oh yeah.
I've heard that the officer, I think it's who's the officer that played. He is the you've heard of the Toxin. Toxin, the character Toxin is he's a symbiote from I think an offshoot of Carnage, and he is with the Officer Mulligan, Officer Mulligan, I believe it is.
Okay.
And they've said that there's been shots of Mulligan in the from the set or whatever. Like they've showed his name tag and stuff like that. So there's been some spec that Toxin's going to be on that in that movie.
Ooh.
So Venom
I'm
versus Carnage will be really good.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't in love with the first movie, but I liked the first movie a lot. So the second movie coming out, I'm really excited about, because if Woody Harrelson's really going to be playing Cletus Cassidy and turning into Carnage,
yeah,
Woody Harrelson plays a great psycho, man.
I know it's gonna. And when I saw that he was doing it, I was like, "Oh, they got the perfect guy to do that for sure. He's gonna do that justice for sure."
Yeah.
So that was the book from Essen. Well, I didn't even notice this, huh? But this book's signed too.
Oh wow.
By the way, Donnie Cates. I didn't even notice it just till I was just about to put it up.
Oh, that's awesome. It's in gold right there too. Nice.
Yeah. There's no a COA or anything like that, but still, who cares? It came in the bundle, and that's awesome. So that's signed by Cates in gold. Sweet.
You could send that off to CBSI or CBCS and get that verified
for sure. Awesome. Yeah, that was a sick box for $100. You can't beat that with the stick.
What up, God Tank? Good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so everybody in the community likes to talk about packaging and how we're all trying to one-up each other and find greater, cooler ideas about packaging. And painter's tape is a big thing with packaging and shipping because it is awesome.
Totally.
Sometimes I feel like some of us just try to troll each other, though, because this is like a quarter roll of packing or painter's tape. So
dude, it come right?
I'm going to mute my mic for about 10, 15 seconds while you ramble for a bit, right?
All right, yeah, no worries. That's funny that came in like that. That was definitely a troll job right there. I've gotten some really crazy taping packages like that. Oh my gosh, it's like unrolling a toilet bowl or toilet paper roll, basically. So yeah, that Toxin is supposed to be in that. That's supposed to be some spec stuff. I've been also looking at the Annihilation Conquest Wraith series. That Annihilation Conquest Wraith is a series back from 2007. And I bought a couple of sets of that. And I think it's going to be a hot set to kind of get ahead of time because Donnie Cates is doing a Web of Venom Wraith in a couple months. So Wraith is a character from the dark. Supposed to be, it might be somewhat attached to Null. He has a virus called Exelon. So that's, if you're looking for something kind of spec, then yeah, look at it. He's still going on that thing. Oh man, that is hilarious. I wonder, did it come in? I wonder if that thing came in an envelope.
It came in a post office envelope.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare. The tape's not even in one loop all the way around. Oh my god, this is gonna take a minute.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Yeah, so that's some of those different spec things. Yeah, and then Venom coming out. I heard there was a shot from the movie scene, and it's from a convenience store where in the window is a bus, and it says, "Where is Spider-Man?" So they're acknowledging that Spider-Man's in the universe, and so there's a good possibility they're going to be tying it together. He made it to the end. He made it to the end.
Christ on a cracker!
You should recycle that tape.
I'm done with that tape. Holy hell! All right, wow,
that's awesome.
At least I saved most of the bubble wrap. I really like reusing bubble wrap. This is. I remember what this package is now. This is by far the greatest packaging of anything I've ever gotten off of eBay.
That is eBay. That is World War III proofed right there. They want to make sure that if you're stuck in a bunker somewhere, you got your comics.
Look at that. There's a whole nother layer of bubble wrap. Gee, this is
that a slab?
This is the most bulletproof eBay package I have ever received.
So, is that overkill? Do you not like that then? So is it like
oh no, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I mean, it's if the people watching are hopefully getting a good laugh at me struggling on the struggle bus. So
I mean that's hilarious.
If they're not getting a good laugh, I'll give them a good laugh. Hey Ryan.
Yeah.
What do you get when you cross the Atlantic in the Titanic?
I have no idea.
Halfway there.
That was good. That was all right. Oh. Yeah. A cold drink, probably. That's hilarious.
That's actually funny. I ran into that joke last night because we were reading All-Star Superman for Modern Men. We recorded Modern Men last night, so it's going to premiere live tonight. And part of that series, for Lois Lane's birthday, Superman recreates like the interior part of the Titanic and hand cooks her a meal from the menu of the Titanic. Like, look out of left field for the story. I'm like, that is weird.
So who created the interior?
Superman in his Fortress of Solitude had like the Titanic sitting in there, so he brings her inside and cooks her a meal off the menu of the Titanic.
That's crazy. You ever seen that? Go ahead.
This is not an eBay purchase.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
can't wait to see this.
This is the most bulletproof eBay purchase. So it's taken me a solid 5 minutes to open this.
It's still good.
All right. And I want to start off by saying that this was only like a $20 purchase too. I'm killing
it. They gave you $20 in packaging.
I'm terrible with the chat right now, but there you go.
Yeah. Spears. What's up, Spears?
Oh, cool. God Tank. We're definitely going to check that out later. So catching up with the chat here. This was a $23 win on eBay.
I see that comic community out there.
I'm really, really excited about this win. Punisher War Journal 9.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got it for $23. Here's the important thing.
Oh, wow.
It's a newsstand copy.
Newsstand.
So it's a high grade newsstand copy of a book from 1988.
Score.
I have been a hardcore Punisher collector since the mid 80s. I have only ever seen 2 or 3 newsstand copies of this book, and then to find one in a 9.6, and I got it for $20 some odd.
Graded? That's crazy. So was it like a late night purchase?
No, it was just I found it. Like a lot of other people that are keying in on certain areas of collecting, you can tailor your eBay searches and alerts, and every day I check out the Punisher stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
So I see everything that hits, and when this hit, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely interested if it finishes in my price range, if it's somewhere in my price range. And sure enough, I can't beat a 9.6 newsstand of War Journal for $20 some odd.
Yeah, no, you can't. No, that's awesome, dude. I can't believe you got it for that cheap. There was a lot of people sleeping on the job right there.
Yeah, that's less than, for those of you watching that aren't tuned in with CGC and a lot of that stuff. $23 for a slab is less than the actual cost to ship it out and have it slabbed.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I watch a lot of stuff like that too. I've gotten a few slabs. I think I got like a Venom 1 Mayhew virgin cover. It was like I got it for like $28, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I do that? It was crazy to when you find those deals on eBay. So do you do a lot of shopping on eBay, or how about the Mastodon? I mean, I know that's your bud, huh?
The Mastodon.
Mastodon.
So I used to do a lot of buying on eBay because you could find nooks and crannies on eBay of sellers that would put up volume on eBay, and you could find certain sellers that were putting up volume that ended up being like really high grade, but it's the stuff out of the 80s and 90s that weren't really worth a lot, but it's stuff you're still interested in. So I was finding run. That's how I rebuilt most of my Punisher collection, was cheap runs on eBay where you can get 10 or 12 books for $5 or $6 or $7, and then you can bundle those together. Some sellers will let you win books, sit on that win for a week as long as you communicate to them correctly and watch their other auctions, so that they're only shipping you one large package and not shipping you 4 or 5 packages.
Yeah, I've
And I
done
did
that
that
for
for a
sure.
long while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you ever how about
Uh-oh. We
sorry
lost
about
Ryan.
that.
There you go.
I think I'm back here.
Yep, you're back. You left off with the spending on buying on eBay and then hey, here I am. So yeah. One is the lonely. I'm not going to sing to you guys. You guys are going to hate that. So while Ryan gets back in here, there he is.
All right. Sorry about that.
No problem, man. It's super
one
easy.
of those things. So, do you do Facebook like auctions and stuff like that?
I'm getting more into the Facebook side of things, but what I'm really excited for is the IG side of things as well. The community's really starting
Instagram.
chats and other things in IG, and the community, buying from the community and selling to the community, makes for a lot of really good deals. And I'm not like talking cheap books. Like, you're not going to find stuff cheap, but you're going to find them cheaper than eBay. And people are looking at their margins. What do I have into this? What can I sell it for? Okay, here's what I can sell it for. Here's the top end. But how about I give somebody a good deal? Because the community is all about building the community and other people's collections too.
Totally.
That's what I'm really excited about. There's some hardcore Punisher fans out there, but there are also many people in the community that are like, hey, I saw this. Let me share this with Andy. I know he's big into Punisher stuff. So it's like having more boots on the ground and more eyes out there too. And then when somebody comes across a cheap deal that's not part of their PC, I don't mind paying them $10, $20, $30, $40 or percent or whatever they want for their time to flip that book back to me for my personal collection, because I'm not paying all of those fees for eBay and some of those other websites, the buyer's premiums and all of that. So it's family selling to family, basically.
Yeah, I like that. I've been doing a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I want to start moving over to Instagram because I'd rather have a more community based. There is I like, even when I buy something, if I get a good deal on it, I get it for my personal collection and I don't sell. And I like to let the seller know, like, hey, this is for my personal collection. So I'm not going to, if you're going to give me a good deal, I'm going to turn around and try to burn you on it and get it and make double the money on it. It's going to a good home kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get back more into the Instagram. I've been seeing a lot of folks who use Facebook, and Facebook, it wasn't built for something like that. I don't think it's a platform. It's a free platform that we can use to be able to conduct business with. But lately, there's been a lot of problems with comments and things being shut down, and you got to be careful what music you have and stuff like that. And I see a lot of folks get upset about it, especially the sellers and whatnot. But I'm just like, hey, it's a free service. So I wondered if they had to pay, if they paid $5 for something that was a little more adjustable by the person paying, and they have a little better quality, would they rather pay for something with a little better quality or keep it free and kind of where it's at?
Right. And one of the things I've noticed is Facebook's algorithms picking up on certain comments and certain phrasing and getting some people's stuff shut down.
Yep.
So even some people that were big sellers on Facebook are kind of, I don't want to say shying away, but they're maybe even a little reluctant to do as large of a sale post as they had in the past. And I've heard some rumblings and some rumors that Facebook's going to start having like a pay for service, or they're going to charge you for stuff like that because they obviously want to make money on those sales.
Sure. And you would think that if they go ahead.
That's like the neighborhood police department showing up to my door and say, hey, I want an 8% cut of your garage sale of the items you sold to your neighbor. No.
Yeah. But you have to be okay if the police are spotty, though. That's the thing I'm saying. Like, so
right?
if you're using a free service like Facebook, that is a benefit. I look at it for it to be able to use, and it's a platform to be able to use. But if it's not working the way we would like it to work or want it to work, there are issues that, just like today, I had issues just getting on here. And if it wasn't from YouTube or from StreamYard, it's just my lack of technical skill sometimes.
Dude,
But
we're gonna get you there, because in time when you build your processes and your procedures for setting up your own equipment or doing your own thing, there are so many YouTube auctions with so many great people. I've got a auction win from Comic Books NYC Cave that I'm that's in the stack here to open up too, that I'm super excited to win or open up.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they're gonna do that Facebook thing and start doing like a almost like a business platform. If you know, but the thing is that gonna cause the price of the books to go up because people are having to pay for that service now.
Right. Well, look at Craigslist was huge for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then Facebook Marketplace kind of killed Craigslist. Then some of these apps, Let Go, and some of these other apps kind of like toned Facebook sales down or Facebook Marketplace down. And there's always an iteration of something coming. So when a community or a group of people don't like the way something's running, somebody's going to build something new or something different. Innovation.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Did you ever use mycomicshop.com?
I absolutely love mycomicshop.com. I will pay their premiums if it's a book I need for my PC all day long. They have bulletproof shipping all the time. They're open 24 hours a day on their website, and they have
It's
just a huge arsenal of books on there.
and it is specifically for the comic book aficionado or fan. So that's what it's really I enjoy about them. It's nice when you don't have to worry about it because you go on eBay, people are selling, they're trying to make cash, and I always have to call them out, send a message, hey, do you use proper packaging to send that book out? Because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten wrecked books because they try to throw it up in a premium box and it comes in like someone played soccer with that box. I'm
Well,
like,
that's why buying from the community is so amazing, because the community is
absolutely.
always we're all always trying to outdo each other with great ideas. Like I bought a mystery box from Bake the Snake, his
With the wood
YouTube
in it.
channel, and it had those wood panels in it that were
Yeah.
super light material but super strong,
It was like
and
balsa wood or something.
they're totally reusable, right?
It's just so cool.
So that's definitely going to get reused. I'm going to definitely reuse that when I ship something out. So
Yeah, it's like it looked like it was balsa wood or something like that.
yeah, something similar to that.
Yeah.
But
All right.
what you got for a box, man?
All right. Well, let's go. So mine is gonna rain peanuts. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Yeah.
I hate
So,
those things. Love them though.
all right, here we go. All right. So now the rain of peanuts is done. Yeah, they work efficiently though. I had someone send me a book in a premium in a priority box like that, and they stuck the book right in the middle, strategically right in the center of of all the peanuts, and it worked great. But yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt when they're all over the place. So this one do you have one to open or you want me to go?
You're next, man. Go ahead.
All
I've
right,
got
all right.
one. I've just been chit chatting. So the packing peanuts are amazing. While you open that up, I
Yeah.
love packing peanuts because they fill in a lot of dead space and they add a lot of protection. One thing I discovered about packing peanuts I do not like is when you've got a box fan in your comic cave and your toddler comes downstairs and realizes they can fit packing peanuts inside of the box fan
Oh my gosh.
while it's off, and then he fills half of the box fan with packing peanuts and then realizes, oh hey daddy, I can plug this in. This box
Oh.
fan turns on and goes whoosh, and like it took me a week to find everything and clean it up because those packing peanuts get a lot of static electricity buildup and they stick to everything. I found them on the ceiling, I found them at the top of
Oh
the
my.
walls, I found them stuck to slabs.
That sounds like a fun cleanup right
I,
there.
I I love being a dad. It's crazy. And in those moments where you just want to lose it and you breathe for a second and it's like, hey, these are memories.
So I just became a dad. My first was born on December 31st at 11:40, right before the turn of the new year. And I can't. I tell you, I tell my wife every day, it's the greatest blessing ever. Absolutely love being a dad. It's been the best time so far. I'm older. I'm 42, but and I waited a long time because I was a wild man when I was young. But I love being a dad, and I'm stoked to be sharing that with him and my family and my wife and whatnot.
Yep. Yep. It's awesome. It's one of those things where um I'd love to be able to bring my kid to the comic book store every week when he stops grabbing and crinkling and crushing things. I can't wait to start bringing him every week. And if it's something he chooses to not do, or if he doesn't want to do it, sure. But what's the biggest thing about comic books? Reading.
Mm-hmm.
And my local comic book shop is awesome because they sell those little golden books for $4 or $5, and he loves those things. And they're all about comic book characters now too, and the traditional Disney stuff.
Huh.
So we've been buying one of those every couple of weeks whenever they come out with a new one. He's got a huge arsenal of those. But
That's awesome.
reading's the name of the game. My son's 3 now, so he's really getting into that more and more and more, and even trying to read on his own.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, quick story before we go into this awesome box here. Not about 10 months ago, I collected when I was younger, and I had kind of taken a break from collecting for some through my 20s and whatnot. 10 months ago, moved to a comic shop locally, so I'm gonna go check this out. I was a musician for 20 years, so I got out of the band. I needed something to kind of occupy my time. Went to the comic book shop, picked up a couple books. I was like, oh, cool. I got home with them. My wife's like, what do you got in the bag? I was like, I got a couple comic books. She's like, why? I was like, because I want to read them. I like this. It's nostalgic for me. I used to do this when I was a kid. She's like, oh, so you think your kid's going to want to read them? And I was like, well, if we ever have any. And she goes, well, you got one on the way now. And that's how she told me that she was pregnant.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. So the whole time she's been pregnant, all I've done is collect books with the idea that I'm going to pass them along to my little partner there once he gets old enough. I actually had a photographer come in that I'm sitting with today, Jack Potts. He has a studio out here, and he came in and took pictures of the little one and with all the books around him. So I got like a bunch of stuff slab, like I got ASM 300. That was all. It's really all for him is why I'm doing it, most of it. I enjoy reading them too, though. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, like I don't ever think my ASM 129 is going to be $1 million book or a $500,000 book. But if my kid wants it when I go, sure.
For sure.
Because it's a
hobby.
I
think it's cool.
It's a hobby. I think it's
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and I took the picture of him with the baby as he was a baby with those books. So when he's older and realizes, I'm like, see, these are the same books that you had when you were a kid. All right. Cool. So this mystery box I'm doing right now is from Unknown Comics. They recently did they did 3 or 5 boxes. I can't remember what it is. And they were all the specific high ratio comic books. They didn't say what they were going to be. I saw pictures of high ratio Venom books. So fingers crossed I get some high ratio Venom ratios in there. Me and a buddy, Mike Spears, we went in halvesies on this. So he's watching, I think, and he's gonna be excited. This is his first time to be able. I've been holding this box for a while too. So he's been like, just open it. I'm like, be patient. Good things come to those who wait. So this will all be a surprise to all of us. So the first book we have is Spider-Man 300. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know a whole lot about this one. Variant edition of some type. It's some type of ratio, I'm sure. Maybe it's like a 1 in 50 or 25 or something like that, possibly.
Nice.
Because you get one super high, one kind of high, and then a bunch of like lower, but they're all ratio variants. So Spider-Man. Then you have Mary Jane, The Amazing Mary Jane, #1 variant edition.
Ooh, are those in Mylar?
No, that last one was no. These are in regular. They're in regular.
Those are
bag.
Super shiny. Bling bling,
bling bling. All right, so the next one's going to be another Mary Jane.
I don't think I've seen that cover before.
I haven't either, and it's I don't know who the artist is, but really cool. Yeah, it's like a painting almost. Hunt for Wolverine.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. It's a cool cover. Some claws going on there. Parental advisory. I don't know what that means. Probably some graphic stuff going on in there.
Fun. It means fun.
Yeah, fun. It means it's adult time. All right, let's see this. What this is? This is Black Cat. Variant edition #2. Yeah, don't know much about that one as well, but I'm sure it's cool.
They made a ton of covers for that series.
New Mutants.
Oh, I'm enjoying that read right now. Ooh, that's a cool cover. I didn't know they had that one.
Yeah, it's some type of ratio of some sort. It's #2. I don't know who that is on the cover. You might know better than me.
I'm not recognizing it at the moment.
Okay.
X-Force.
X Force.
That's a
Yeah.
good read. That's a great cover. So that House of X, Powers of X run they did spun off 7 titles. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. 7 titles. X-Force is one of the good ones that I really liked. Well, I mean, they're all good in my opinion, but
I used to like Wolverine when I was a kid, and I'm thinking about trying to now with this newer run coming out, I might start getting back into it. But yeah, not too shabby. Another, I think this is actually might be a Spider-Man. It's a Virgin cover though. Inhuck Lee did this one.
I think that might be a Virgin cover of Black Cat 1.
That kind of one. Okay.
I could be wrong though.
Yeah, Inhuck Lee. That's his cover. Here. All right, I got 2 more. Let's keep our fingers crossed if we get one of those awesome Venom covers.
Ooh, I think Chris is right. That might have been Sunspot on that New Mutants cover.
So, ASM, Renew Your Vows. That is a rare one with the black and white. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, and then the last one is, I think it's X or.
Oh yeah. I think that's I could be totally wrong on this. I think that's a Frankie's Comics Virgin variant of.
Let me open it back right quick to see what I can see what it is.
Oh man, my memory is terrible.
It is.
That's what I like about doing this is we're trying to learn.
It's X-Men Red variant cover by Unknown Comics.
Unknown Comics, okay.
Yeah, so I guess these were probably all Unknown Comic ratio variants.
Okay.
Because that's where the box was from. But yeah, so that was that box. I will say, if I had to put a grade on both boxes, the mystery boxes, SNI's box was probably my most excited one, and probably the one that won out of the 2. But not too shabby on that one as well. I didn't get the high ratio Venom I was looking for, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. I think that the SNI $100 spent there was a better spin than what we spent on the one over from Unknown. That one was actually $250.
The Unknown was $250?
Yeah. So wow. Yeah. And that's why I said I went halvesies with a buddy of mine, and I'm not sure what all he collects, and he's watching, so we'll see what we're gonna do there. But yeah, but that was cool. The SNI one was awesome. I got the Todd McFarlane. That was the biggest one of the day was just that Todd, because I was excited to get that one. That was awesome. But let's see what you got, man.
Oh, hold on, phone keeps ringing. What's going on here? Yeah, I don't know, man. The furniture store keeps calling me. All I wanted was a one-night stand, though.
You only wanted one night stand.
Hey, we're gonna at least have fun while we're doing this, right?
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
What I'm really excited about with you getting on YouTube and exploring the YouTube community is one of the big things that the community likes to do are contests.
Yeah.
For challenges, for subscribers, whatever are the contests. And somehow I just got some karma happening. I've got a slab there in the back that I won from Lords of the Lawn box a couple of weeks ago. That was amazing. And most recently, Burke Family 54 ran a contest for subscribers that I took second place in. But somehow, I don't know how that luck is like this, but one of my really good friends that does the Pinkies Out podcast with me, Ken, he won first place. Well, he lives like an hour and a half from me. So I just told Burke, I'm like, hey, just ship everything to me, and then me and Ken will split everything up. And he won first place. We'll let him take whatever he wants, and I'll take what's after. So I got that box in here. And what I'm really excited about, because like I said,
do you know what's in there?
Yep.
Okay.
I do know beforehand, but this is this is a super high grade with a press. This could push 9.6, 9.8, 9.6 probably. New Teen Titans.
Oh, that's awesome.
Direct edition. What
year is that?
Ooh. It's a 75 center, so I'm thinking,
man.
Oh, somebody help me out here with a 75 center on that. New Teen Titans 44 is probably 78.
Yeah.
77 maybe.
Wow, that's awesome.
Batman 655. And these came in Mylar too, and they're super
super
glossy. High grade.
Super glossy.
I'm gonna lay them down so I don't damage them.
Slide off.
Oh, I'm gonna move quicker. There's a ton of books here. True Believers, number 1. The Phoenix Presents. He
Nice.
packed this
Nice.
box with like a quarter of a short box here. Great
Wow.
Lakes Avengers.
Awesome.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna move quick.
Oh boy.
Fool Killer, number 1.
Yeah, I got some of those old Fool Killers. I didn't.
Symbiote Spider-Man, number 1.
Nice. Nice. Good little series there.
Spider-Geddon, number 4. I think that might be a key too. Looks like a variant cover. It's a second printing. Okay, so that's technically a variant, yeah. Oh, you'll appreciate this one. Venom Hurt First Host, number 4.
Oh, that's good one
With
right
Sleeper
there.
on the cover.
Yeah.
Second printing.
That's awesome. That's that one. That's a pretty costly one right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. I love me some G.I. Joe. This is number 51.
Yeah. Awesome. You are the G.I. Joe man.
Mr. Bolo, aka Mr. Bolo, is a huge G.I. Joe fan, and he's one of the ones that turned me back on a G.I. Joe. There's number 59.
Nice.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna start grabbing these in multiple. Uncanny X-Men number 3. Ooh, I haven't read this one.
You did get a big old one.
Mosaic number 2. Holy moly. The Ultimates 2, number 2.
Awesome.
I'm such a geek for 90s stuff. Wildcats number 2, the holofoil.
I love those holofoils. I love those things. When I got all those ones from that mailman, I was looking at the covers just to find the cool ones out.
Very nice. Spawn number 5.
Nice.
I don't have a complete run of those.
Spawn is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that McFarlane guy.
Oh, I haven't read this. Get Me Solo, the One-Man War on Terror, number 1. That'll be cool to read. True Believers, number 1. Phoenix Presents Jean Grey versus Sabretooth. That'll definitely be a good read. Inhumans versus X-Men, number 1. That'll be a good read. Ooh, wow. Oh, where's the Great Legend when you need them? The Shazam Origins trade paperback.
That's awesome.
That's loves cool. Shazam, and he's going to be super stoked when he hears that I have this to read, or me and Ken to read. And Fantastic Four Season 1 trade paperback hardcover. So
that's awesome.
I can't thank Burke enough.
That's a box you won?
Yeah, that was a contest. Burke Family 54 had a contest for subscribers, and it was basically you went on and answered 3 questions. Some of it, one question was, who's your favorite comic book character? Why do you collect them? And the third question was, what are your goals for 2020? So if you did a video, this is where I'm excited for you to get in on this, because when you do contests like these, if you get on your YouTube channel and do a video and share that link to the contest, you get 3. A lot of people will give you 3 entries for that instead of just the 1 entry for a comment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember you posting it. It was like about 2 weeks ago you did that.
Yep. So and I started my YouTube channel because Bear Island. Oh, he's back. We can continue now. Thanks, Bear. Bear Island had a contest going, and that sparked me to. I've had a YouTube account for over a decade, but I've never made any content or anything. And he inspired me to get on to make a video for his contest. And it just went from there. And then all of a sudden, this amazing community unfolds in front of your eyes. And it's like, I really want to be a part of this. And, $40, $50 USB camera and a $30 mic. And here we are.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you getting me involved. I've done stuff on Facebook, and that was really cool. But I'd like to get the YouTube channel going for sure. It's there. Just got to start putting some more stuff up on it. I started upgrading my lighting and stuff like that already. Today I was doing the shot from my buddy's studio, Jack Potts, his studio here. That maybe get some green screen in the future. But yeah, I'm excited to get it going.
Yeah, and I worried for a while about, it's like, well, what kind of content am I going to come up with? I don't worry about that. It's me. I'm here. If people want to hang out and talk, they're going to show up. That's the content. I don't have to worry about creating some sort of crazy show and being on a fixed, rigid schedule because that's not really natural and that's not who I am. So if I click live and do some unboxing and people want to hang out, that's great.
Yeah, I have a bunch of ideas on different content stuff that I wish that I had before. So I was like, well, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as it kept going, I was contacted by Brian of Simpleman's Comics, and he offered a spot on his hot and cold show for a while before they changed formats, and that was a ton of fun. And then I hung out with a Comic Core here and there, and they offered me a spot on their Monday Modern Men show, which has been a ton of fun and very educational. But what do you have next for a box, man?
That's it. That was the box I got. So if you got another one, knock it out.
Oh boy.
I I did a show last night, so I did cheat and open a couple of boxes last night just to kind of pump up the show. But I saw I originally saw you was on the hot and cold, and your hot and cold picks on Simple Man's Comics. That's originally you and Caroline and Chris were the two that stuck out to me. Caroline and Chris 2-6, the ones that stuck out to me the most. And so I was like, man, I love that. That's why I was like, I want to do just something cool and laid back like that for sure.
I love Chris's content.
Dude, he is hilarious.
He did one cold pick where he was sitting on the toilet.
On the commode? Yeah.
that was hilarious.
Oh, man.
I've been terrible about keeping up with this chat. Holy moly, guys. Chris is still here. Bear Island's back from his lunch break, so he's on the clock working, right? Chris says he's waiting for his McFarlane books to come in. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine the number of books that were sent out for that?
So what do you think about that? Like there was so many, having Todd's signature was great, but it cheapens it a little bit, no?
Yeah, I think a lot of people did it for their personal collections, and those books won't hit the market, but I think just as many people did it to sell. I think over the 2020, we're going to see a downtick in prices in a lot of those books. And I'm kind of excited for that because I don't have a number one Spawn, and I would love to have a number one Spawn in my PC and a 9.8. And then if I could ever find a newsstand 9.8 for an affordable price, that's on my list of things to do in the far future. But
yeah, I think it'll dictate a lot of the pricing on a lot of those books, and not only the ones that are signed, but there'll be a lot of those books just out there being sold, like 300s and stuff like that. So if they're more accessible, then it's going to change the pricing a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't mind having a McFarlane signature, but I think I would like to go there and get it from him. But at some point in the future, if I can send this one I got today off to him, that'd be I might do that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, or let me rephrase that. I'm not a huge collector of Signature Series books, but I did go do the Jim Lee signing at Motor City Comic Con last year, and I had such a blast doing that I've started picking up some other signature books from some creators that I'm really into. We'll see. Hopefully, I don't fall down that rabbit hole too, because I.
So I was never big into. I really did everything raw. I knew I wanted to specialize primarily into virgins. But then I started doing, yeah, that sounded kind of weird. But yeah, I like the artwork. I like the art behind it. I started doing some graded books and kind of started digging that. The signature stuff started coming along little by little. I have a friend that now is a facilitator, and he can watch a book get signed and then get it yellow labeled. So now I'm like, okay, well now I have like holes, like I'll have like 2 books of a 3-book set signed, and I don't have a third one, so I'm filling up some of those holes. But there's a lot of people out there that do like signatures, and then it does. I didn't go after signatures. I acquired some, and now I'm like, oh, well, now that I've acquired a few, now I kind of want to get a few more just to kind of finish up from the writers or artists that I enjoy.
Right, it's a very slippery slope.
It is.
It really is.
All the comic books is the whole hobby.
So this box is a couple of runs I won off of eBay for really cheap. I'm not going to go through all of them. This key, I think this is the first Predator, first appearance of Predator.
Awesome.
I could be wrong. But my local comic book shop has this in really high grade. This is easy 8.5 to 9.2. My local comic shop has this for $40. I won this first 4 books of this series for like $10
Wow.
on eBay. And it was from a seller that had a bunch of Punisher stuff available. And
Ah,
I
go
already
figure.
have a lot of these books, but the rest of this run that he was selling, 7 to like, I think it's 11 or 12. They're new after this direct edition here. The rest of them are newsstand, which I don't have newsstand in high grade. This I won for $1.80 or $2.30 on top.
Yeah.
So it's like he's
That's
already sending
awesome.
me a package. This is cheap enough as it is.
So you won something, and they're like, "Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get some more because you're trying to thin out you're spreading out the cost of the shipping and stuff."
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of sellers will move books on eBay like that in bundles, 7 to 10 or 11 or 12 or in series. So that if you win something that you're really looking forward to, and you're going to send one box of 3 or 4 comics, well, if he's got
Nice.
something ending within the next day or two that you're really into that you can win for $2 or $3, add that right on.
You know, I as a buyer, I communicate a lot to my seller. As soon as I purchase something, I usually say thanks to them. I'll ask him about the shipping. You know, just like you said, I'll ask him and say, "Hey, I see a few other things. Are anything in a week? Can I do you want me to pay for this now, or how are you going to do it?" They usually 9 times out of 10 say, "Well, just get everything you want, and then we'll make you an invoice and send it out to you." I've ordered stuff from UK, from Canada. It comes in pretty quickly. UK takes a little bit longer. I ordered some stuff through Sad Lemon. And it took a little while to get to me. Got stuck in Chicago for like 2 or 3 weeks. But I always, if I buy something, I'm always going through the store trying to find something else I can try to grab. And like you, I'll grab sometimes doubles because maybe I need to upgrade a book or get a better condition of a book or something like that.
Yep, exactly. Whether it's upgrading or it's a story you absolutely truly love and you buy extras and you hand them out or give them to other
Yeah,
people. I've done
yeah,
that with Saga. Saga's a story that our family's been really tied into that we've really loved. And when I find extras for really cheap and I can put runs together, I'll do that for friends or I share out my collection of the trade paperbacks.
yeah.
Walking Dead, I did that too. I've shipped my whole run of Walking Dead trade paperbacks to other states for friends to read.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Because
It's
you
like,
want them to
oh,
enjoy it too. You're
yeah.
like, hey,
Well,
check this out.
not just that, but if they love it that much, they're going to go out and buy the whole run themselves as well.
Yeah, for sure. You want to try to, yeah. I've shared like the Silver Surfer Black. I shared with a buddy of mine that's in a different part of Texas, and a couple of others I've shared. You know, I'll just give them away stuff just to say, hey, here's a check this one out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm big in. I've recently started doing that Exelon or that Annihilation Conquest Wraith. I think that's gonna be a good series, and there was a low print run of it. There was 37,000 ordered in 07, which is relatively low. So finding a good like 9.6, 9.8 copy of that set has been difficult. I've gotten 2 sets in so far, and it's been difficult.
Well, that's
But
really how collecting's been going too, is when you find something you love and it's a low print run, then you're chasing the high grade copies of a low print run. Saga, for example, again, didn't have a very high print run for #1, original first printing of #1. It had a decent printing, but then when you go to the fourth printing was like less than 1,500 copies.
mm-hmm.
So finding
Yeah,
that in the
yeah,
9.8 was rough. And then the Diamond retailer incentive had 500 books. So 500
yeah.
copies of that, and then most of those are staying in high grade, thankfully. But that's a over $2,000 book.
It's hard to find some of those things in good shape. I'm looking right now. I'm trying to find Venom #2, but the PX from Volume 4, and that book is hard as heck to find. Can't find that thing anywhere. It's been tough. But that's part of my love of comics is the search and the chase and trying to find it.
Yep.
I love the kind of the investigate. I get more into those books. Like I was looking for Dark Night Watch. You ever heard of Night Watch?
Uh-huh.
And there was 2 covers that had Venom on them, and I had to search all over to try to find those in good quality. But when I got them, I was stoked. They're not real expensive books, but just to search and trying to find and achieving a goal I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the hunt is really a big chunk of it, and unfortunately for me, you get to a point where you've checked so many different places over. I've checked so many different places over the last year. Where I live, I found out that there are 2 or 3 what I'll call super buyers.
Yeah.
They'll buy collections and they'll buy keys in quantity. so that they don't really show up in flea markets or in garage sales ever. These guys are buying in bulk. And what they'll do is I did find and contact one guy, and I've become really good friends with him. And he has his own little flea market where he'll buy up collections in bulk to build his personal collection. And then whatever he doesn't want, he sells at a flea market. So I'm finding a lot of the stuff that I really wanted to build my collection on out of the 90s for 30 cents a copy,
Wow.
which is
That's
great. I got
awesome.
a
That's
really good
awesome.
rapport with him. And I go down and I hand him cash whenever I visit him and buy a short box or two at a time of stuff that I want to read and collect.
Heck yeah.
So when he gets a key in that he knows I'm interested in, it's at the point now where he'll contact me directly. He's like, I have this. This is what I think the grade is. Here's my price. And I'll either say yay or nay. But he knows I deal in cash. And that's just another form of the community where he's not interested in getting on YouTube. Maybe one day he will, but it's one of those things where the hunt is still the hunt. It's just not the
Hunt's
same that it
fun.
used to be a year or two ago for me. Is I don't get to go into an LCS and be like, oh man, let's hunt this down, let's hunt that down. I go to my LCS, pick up my weekly pulls, and I check their wall to see if they've put something new up. They're always buying collections as well. They tend to be a couple weeks behind on being able to process those collections and price things and put them up on the wall.
How many LCS do you have around there?
We have two, one that I frequent and one that I respect very highly and I regard very highly, and I will always buy from them. And a second one that I won't venture into anymore. Last year, I was buying up copies of ASM 361, and I was paying a premium for high grade newsstands. At that time, that book was easily $80 to $100.
Sure.
I'm chasing a 9.8 for my personal collection is what I'm doing. And I would plan on sending off some of them and dropping them off at Baltimore Comic Con. So I was buying up copies. I walk into this shop because I would check on him twice a week too and see what he had. And he had a very high grade newsstand one. And I'm like, dude, this is cool, man. He's like, oh yeah, I just got it in. I'm like, okay, what's your price, man? I'm a buyer. Let's talk cash. He's like, hold on. And he pulls out his phone and he starts browsing whatever you want to eBay, whatever app he was browsing. He comes back. He's like, I'm at 175.
God dang.
Dude,
Dang.
I just bought two copies in similar or better grade for $100 a pop. I'm like, I'll give you 125 cash right now for it. And he said no. And I'm like, that was the last time I visited his shop.
Yeah, and he's seen you in there a number of times.
And I come to realize that he's the kind of a shop owner that he'll order a number of books, but he'll pay attention to certain applications and certain websites. And when a book is hot on Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, he'll only put half of his copies out on the shelf for New Comic Book Day. Then he'll reserve the other half and sell them for more than double on
whack.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm just not going to support that shop. I'm not going to support those practices.
I'm totally with you on that one. Like I've had a couple of shops that I've worked with, and it's been like, man, like I come in here all the time. I would bring them books that they didn't have a good supply of books, and I collect Venom, and I always get extra Venom. So I was like, okay, let me bring them in, and I'd say, just make me a deal on whatever you want on these, and then when you have a book come in, make me a deal when the book comes in. So that kind of happened. I'd give him, really really good deals on the extra Venoms I had. I'd give them to for like half to what they were going for or whatever. Like, here, just give me store credit, not money, because I can use it here. And then they would, but when it would come around, they would want me to pay premiums for like stuff that was coming out. I'm like, come on, man. Like I come in here often. I'm patronizing you. That's like I'm a patron of your store. Let's work a deal. But no, I didn't want to. So I tend to shy away from those type of places as well.
Yeah, Carolina Chris has a good comment coming up here. There it is in StreamYard. The same stuff as the second LCS in my town and charges for a pull list. Now, to be fair, my LCS charges for my pull list as well, but it's $5 a year. I pay $5 a year for their, I don't know if you want to call it a club or something like that, but I pay that discount. Yeah, I get 10 or 20.
See,
I get $1 off each comic book, basically, is what it boils down to.
And this guy, he would do pulls, but you would get no discount off your books. Now he did a credit system where you could get like credit for buying stuff, and then you could use the credit for something in the future. But you have to buy a ton of books to be able to get a credit. Wow. And I was like, no, I'm not getting anything back. And I was like, there's so many people that offer a discount on getting your books, at your LCS. So You know, not trying to be cheap, but you got to be cost effective when you're doing this because you can go blow through some money really quick.
Well, yeah, and I like the way my LCS does it, where I'm getting a certain percentage off of brand new books off the shelf because it's an incentive for me to read more too. And if
Absolutely.
I'm very similar to a lot of other collectors. I'll at least read through the first story arc, and then what I'll try to do is I'll try to bundle that first story arc together of a book and try to sell it back to the community for what I paid for.
Yeah.
If not cheaper than that.
Yeah, for sure. Because you want to spread the love.
Well, not only that, but yeah, you talk about spreading the love. Thanks to your shout out last night, I'm so close to 300 subscribers. I got to get ready to start putting a giveaway together.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
I was hoping my recent Baltimore CGC drop off would be back in time because I threw in a couple of cool books for the purpose of that possible giveaway. And this Friday is day 85. So I'm hoping to get a email this week sometime that they're scheduled for grading or they're hitting grading. And then usually it's only about 10 to 14 days until they start shipping them back out.
Yeah, for sure.
My biggest submission so far. But I've got one more box here, and this is from Comic Books NYC, Kavi. This is the prettiest packaging I've ever witnessed in my life. And he did an auction a couple of weeks ago, and this is just stunning, clean, stunning packaging. I'm just like, and then of course he does what I like to do. He reuses my comic shop boxes that come in.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
padding on the inside.
I'm all about reusing.
I can reuse all of this too.
Yeah, recycle, reuse, saves the earth.
Yep.
I'm all about saving earth.
A couple of pull tabs here, and then I can get this out. This is
pull tabs are good.
This is a book I've never bought because it's never kind of been at the price that I really wanted to pay for it. But he says, "Enjoy, man, Kavi," and then full Mylar.
Wow.
He gave me a stinking killer deal on this book too. I felt bad. I messaged him back. I'm like, dude, are you sure you want me to pay for this right now? Because that's almost too cheap.
Oh yeah.
The limited series Punisher number 196 white pages direct edition. This is I got it easily like 30% less than what it goes for online a lot of places.
That's awesome.
And this is strictly for my personal collection. And the only thing holding this back is a little bit of a staple issue. Otherwise, this should have been a 9.8.
Rusty staple or just loose?
No, it's just it looks like it's a little bit pulled into the book a little bit. But
yeah,
it presents like a 9.8.
Yeah,
it was gorgeous. He put it up, and like a lot of other members in the community, when they put up books for auction, they're putting them up at a price that they're comfortable with and the price that they feel like the community is going to be comfortable with. So immediately I put a price in, and the whole time I'm sitting here and I'm like, I hope nobody else goes for it, because then nobody else went for it. There weren't.
You're like, oh man,
there. And I got it. Oh, that's Javi. Are you sure you want me to pay that? Because it's like, he's like, no, man. He's like, that's the deal that I wanted to put up, and I can't thank him enough because I've paid attention to that book for years and years and years. And 9/8 of that with remarks and signatures are $600, $700, $800. I've seen some approach $1,200 with Mike Zeck will do like a sketch on it and assign it, and I've seen some of those books hit almost $1,200. That's a really big add to my personal collection.
That's awesome.
The next one I'm torn between completing that series soon or trying to get a 9.8 newsstand edition of that, which is pretty pricey too. But that's my last box, man.
You know, you're saying you're looking for 361. I got one of those from about 4 months ago from a guy I found on Facebook, a marketplace. He was just selling at 361. I was like, yeah, you know, sometimes you get those ads, you're like, yeah, let's see what they're all about. And it was kind of dodgy a little bit. And then finally we got a chance to meet up, and he was like, yeah, I went 361, 362, 363. And he was like, let's do it for $100. I was like, all right, sure. Let's see. So then I was even a little more skeptical because it's pretty cheap price. So, but when I got it, dude, I was super stoked and surprised the 63 and 62 were in awesome shape, and the 361 was a newsstand. He had double boarded the front and the back. He was the original person that bought it off the newsstand. It was a
Oh,
newsstand carpet, front and back boarded. I got it back from CGC with the 9.8.
nice.
Yeah,
Very
it
cool.
was a good score, man, for sure. I was really stoked to get that. So yeah, I heard you say it earlier. I was like, man, yeah, that is a quote, but that just shows they're still out there, and you can find it for sure.
I've
It's
got
all about that hunt.
I've got 4 copies in this last submission. 2 first printing newsstands. The I'm a little worried because it's not hard to find a 9.8. You look for a comic book that has 0 imperfections. Finding and judging books that are under that 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, that's difficult because then now you've got to tune your eye to find those imperfections that the graders are going to find. And I found the 2 best that I could, and I think I think I was a little impatient and I probably shouldn't have sent those out. And unfortunately, they've each one, and I hope this is a manufacturing error that they don't ding me on. Each one at the bottom of the very bottom of the bottom staple has a little pull. It almost looks like a manufacturing thing because they're both identical.
You press them?
And nope, I didn't. I'm using CCS out of convenience. A lot of people don't like CCS. I'm using CCS for convenience. Hopefully they don't do me wrong. I did get a book back with a crinkle on the submission before this, which I wasn't too happy with. But it was a book that I picked up for like $5, and then I just spent to press and clean. And that book went out to the community, and that book was actually donated. And actually that was part of the AOK I gave to Chris.
Awesome.
So I was in that book for what I paid for it, what I pressed to clean it and whatnot, and it's worth at least that, if not more. And Chris has the opportunity to crack and press and clean that and send it back because that should have been a 9.6 or better. But moving on from that, I'm using CCS. I know from what I've learned and a lot of people that I've talked to that it's some people love them, some people don't like them. I know of at least 4 people that I probably should have contacted and paid to do. It's just a time thing. And at that time, it's like I'm a fan of convention drop-offs because I control the way they're packed, carried, and dropped off. I control the paperwork. I print them right out. When you do the new kiosk drop-off for CGC is amazing in my opinion. I was at Baltimore hanging out with friends. I walked up, punched my stuff in, and then I spent my time at the convention until they sent me a text message. I walked up and she's like, "Hey, Andy, we're ready to take your stuff." Drop the books off, drop the paperwork off. I was done in less than 2 minutes. Well, I've seen people spend the entire day in line there.
Absolutely.
That was stellar in my opinion. But I don't know. Those are the only things wrong with those. If they come back both 9.6s, I'll be happy. I'm hoping
Their newsstand?
They're both newsstand, and then
Awesome.
I've got 2 corresponding copies of the second print as well. That
Oh,
were
awesome.
super high grade. They were sold to me as 9.6s. So if they were clean and pressed at CCS, and there's a possibility that those could come back 9.8s, but we'll see. That's the other nice thing about CDC and using pressing and cleaning services is you're tuning your eye to grade better. So that when I get these back, it's going to be a learning experience, and no education is ever free or cheap. So
absolutely. I just got all those like that 361, and I got a ASM 300. All those books were sent to CGC to get graded. That 300 is a newsstand as well, and it came back at a 9.4, so I was stoked on that. But before I did, I had my favorite seller on eBay is Hogjaw Comics. Hogjaw Comics. It's hogdogcomics.com, I think, and it goes straight to eBay. He helped me with he's just one of those good guys. He helped me get it all pressed and ready to set up and sent it out and just did everything to the top notch. And all the books came back really, really good and crisp. And I was just stoked to get them. So that was my first time to submit some stuff, and I'm getting ready to submit some more stuff and see what it's all about again.
Yeah. And a lot of people are just they're either on the board with encapsulating comic books with whatever their favorite company is, or they're not. And most people, well, you can't read that book. And I'm like, yeah, but I collect everything out of the 90s when they were printing 1 million books. So it's like I can just buy reader copies all the time. Golden age is when people really start, the fence is really there. You're either on one side or the other because people Golden Age books are not cheap by any means, and they're really expensive when they're great, high grade. And Golden Guys Tuesday on the Comic Core, I watch that every week because it's really good education.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that box comes back here soon. In the
I'm
next
stoked to see that one. I want to see what that's. I want to see how those things come back now. Yeah, I'm stoked to have gotten those ones back from CGG for sure.
Yeah, 9.8
So,
newsstand ASM 361. You know,
yeah.
that's right up your alley collecting wise. It's a great book. Bagley did an amazing cover. I really like that part of the story.
Dude, that double board he had on the front of it, when I took the board off, the colors on it were so unbelievably vibrant. You could look on the page, you could see like the like the inking or something from it. Like it was like outlined. It was just like it was extremely vibrant. It was really good.
Did it transfer to the board at all?
No, not at all.
Nice. Very nice.
It was
Some of those books you get some ink transfer on the boards and you lose that a little bit. But that's where, oh man, that thing's gonna be amazing to look at. That's probably just gorgeous to look at, those covers like that. That's another one. Secret Wars #8. When you find that, when the colors on that are amazing and super sharp, that's a really nice book to present too.
See, I sent that one off too, and it came back at 7.5, which was cool because I didn't spend a lot on it. But I was like, it's just hard to find that book because it's that orange and it fades out, and it's like it's hard to find that book crispy.
I found one copy from a favorite seller of mine on eBay like 2 years ago, and I got it for like $25-$30 or something like that. I was like, wow, that's seems expensive at the time. And when I got it, I'm like, this isn't really clean shape. And that was in my first CDC submission, and that came back in 9.6. And I actually donated that to the comic book or Comic Core fundraiser for Midwest Paul and his family for his daughter's GoFundMe page. That went out, and that got a really decent price and went out to a member of the community that's putting it in their personal collection. So I was really stoked about that.
For sure.
And one more copy that I got was I found one as a newsstand over in Detroit in Motor City Comic Con last year. The guy that owned the shop said this has been sitting here forever, and I did a cash bundle, and got the newsstand 9.6 for like $80.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's a pretty good deal. But welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the community.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna start sending a ton of links your way. I wasn't very prepared, and I don't have your channel link here.
It's all good. Yeah. We'll do it. It'll get out there sooner or later.
I add it. Your setup's working great. Your audio's perfect. Your video's perfect. Are you on Wi-Fi or are you hardwired?
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Dude, this is a killer setup on Wi-Fi. A lot of people won't do Wi-Fi because of the intermittentness sometimes.
Yeah, it works pretty good. It's clean.
Yeah, yours is working really good.
I had a small contest going on within the feed, and to let those guys know they were doing the contest I was doing. I'll get back with y'all and later on this evening, and we'll do the drawing and whatnot. I had a contest where I did something specific throughout the feed, and they were commenting with comic book community. And so that's why you were seeing those comments with comic book community coming up as a little giveaway I was going to do. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, let me get this. Let me get your channel at least. Link.
So it's right. It's RHYNO 'S review. Rhyno's review, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I should have grabbed this earlier. I know I'm subbed, but I'm subbed to like 400.
Yeah. You can put it on. You can throw it up on there later on. It's no biggie.
Well, let me throw it in the live chat really quick for the people watching because there's a couple of them asking for it.
Yeah, Rhyno's review, RHYNO 'S reviews.
I thought I was going to be able to find this quick. Well, while I board the struggle bus here, what do you have coming up next, man? What endeavors are you working on?
So I am trying to do again. I'm at my buddy Jack Potts studio. I want to do I'm gonna do more unboxings and stuff like that. But I'm also working on possibly doing something. I don't know if you've ever seen The Soup that Joel McHale used to do.
Oh my God, my wife and I love that show.
Yeah. So I want to do that, but with comic book channels. So feeds from like gathering maybe 30 minutes, gathering a bunch of data from throughout the past week, and then condensing it and being able to show like some good information, some blooper stuff, some just like a good fun overall show, but kind of condensing a lot of the different shows we watch because there's a lot out there to watch. You got Simple Man Comics, you got Comic Tom 101, you got Economics and Comics. I watched that guy. You got Jim's
Lords of the Long Box. If you haven't watched them,
Lords of the Long Box, yeah. Jim's Comics. Jim had his 200. Today is his 2-year anniversary of being on YouTube, so I thought it was cool that today I'm on the same 2-year his 2-year anniversary, same day as today. And so getting all that information. Simple Man has 3 different shows, but kind of condensing it so that way you're able to spotlight those folks who get really good information and have good content, and then condense it and have some fun with it.
Yep. So what we've done here today is basically a live hangout for an hour and a half. And Simpleman's Comics, Brian and Jack have realized that what they wanted to do with their content is condense it a little bit more and do 20, 30-minute content chunks because they're a little bit easier to absorb for the larger community. And
absolutely,
when you start getting into Simpleman's Comics and Lords of the Long Box and Comic Tom, and you've got people with tens of thousands of subscribers, their content does better in shorter bursts like that. Whereas a lot of the other people, we don't have this isn't our business. That we're not, that's what they do. That they're pros at that. Those of us that aren't really pros, we just want to go live and hang out and talk.
Absolutely,
so our content's going to be long, stretched out. But that's why when we want to do Monday Madness unboxing, I had 6-7 boxes and oh my god, a massive pile of trash and painter's tape.
Yeah, I gotta get here and get cleaned up now.
Yeah, there you go, man. So meaty. That's my wife. She loved that Joe McHale show. We miss it too. We watched it religiously while it was on.
Yeah, I loved it. It was funny. So I want to do something like that where I have maybe show some stuff from different crew, different shows, just little clips here and there. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be really damn cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be something kind of goofy and fun for sure.
But you got a great personality. Your tech is there where it needs to be for good streaming content. You get your channel on, you're going to hit 100 subs, no problem. Then when it's just going to carry over to 200 subs. So keep at it, man. I'm really looking forward to what you're going to put out.
Man, I appreciate it for sure.
And go hit up Just a Rican in his comics. Rod at Just a Rican in his comics does a weekly comic book community shout out show. And when you get your channel up and running, if you schedule something with him, he'll be glad to have you on there and live stream just like this to talk about you and what your goals and your endeavors are. And,
yeah, it's awesome.
That's a fun little bump. Rod's an amazing guy. He's really cool. And then it just carries over from there. You meet Rod, then you meet John's Comics with Kids, then you meet these people and that people, and you meet Fire Guy Ryan, you meet
Fire Guy Ryan. Yeah.
Brian, Jack, a lot of the other people. You'll get to meet a lot of the other comic core people. Biggie Shack. Oh my god, there's so many amazing people to shout out. Adam, Barrel Island Comics, D Runk Comics, JP Collects. There's so many people with amazing dude. You got a whole world. It's like you're a newborn baby.
Bring it on. I'm good.
This is so exciting. it's like when we hire a new employee and I start training them, like, you got the whole world ahead of you, man. This is gonna be so cool.
Man, I'm excited. I'm really stoked to get it going for sure. I appreciate you letting me come on and kind of cut my teeth. So I really do appreciate it.
I really appreciate you coming to hang out. It's a big chunk of your time, man. As a new dad, time is precious. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, I like to close it out by saying peace out, pinkies out, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
All right.
See everybody soon.